Okay, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to our channel. And if you don't know, today is my birthday and I just turned 20. Okay, top 20 books of all time for my 20th birthday. And the first thing that I want to say before I start my video is I cannot believe it's my 20th birthday. Like, I can't believe I started making YouTube videos when I was 15, okay? And even then they were just basic like little videos I would make of like the drill team and like stuff like that. Like, I never thought I would be like filming on a camera with like a good light and like taking content creation seriously. Like, all over my TikTok I have videos going just completely crazy, and like the fact that like I get to do that alongside going to school for something that I really want to pursue, alongside working at a job that makes me feel so loved and nurtured and cared for. Like, I literally thank you Jesus. Like, thank you Jesus for the 20th year. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. That's it. Nothing crazy, nothing new. I'm just blessed. And I just hope to make so many more videos in the future, and I hope to make so many more bookish videos in the future. So yeah, with that sappiness, let's get right into the video of my top 20 books of all time for my 20th year. Starting with one book that I don't even have a copy of, which is so sad, is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I read this in high school, and it honestly like changed my perspective on life. A World Without Books is a burning, bland, boring world, and that book literally changed the trajectory of my life. It's the only book for school that I ever like read and sat down and like read through it, took notes, and loved. And I think that's just a testament to the message that the book sends. Favorite book of all time. That's my #1 go-to when I'm recommending books to anybody, and it's one of the only non-romance books that I've read out of choice. So really love that. Ray Bradbury did a really good job with that book, and the message in that book is so good. This is a classic cover, okay? Y'all don't know about these classic covers with the girls on them. The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Nobody is more excited for this TV show than I am, and nobody loves the Off Campus series more than I do. So everybody who doesn't know, The Deal is about Hannah and Garrett. Basically, Hannah's super smart, Garrett's a hockey player. This book is literally what started hockey romance. And basically they start studying together and they end up falling in love. Then there's that third act breakup, but he issues a hands-off rule of all the campus. Totally hot, totally here for it, totally here for the show. Guys, this next book, so good. Play Along by Liz Tomfort. Play Along follows Kennedy and Isaiah. Kennedy is an athletic trainer, but her boss is kind of misogynistic and doesn't really believe in her, so to say. And Isaiah overhears the whole thing, and they get drunkenly married one night, fake their whole marriage, and they continue with it instead of getting it annulled. And let me tell you, okay, you should read the book if you want to know, because this is a good book. Good. Next book is Mile High. Oh yeah. The thing that I love the most about Mile High is plus size representation in romance. Nobody talks about how important that is, but I love it. Mile High follows Evan Zanders and Stevie. Stevie's a flight attendant for a private airline, and his hockey team uses that private airline. And basically there's like a whole like no fraternizing with players, but they fraternize, okay? They fraternize and they fall in love, and then it only goes up and down from there. So the next book on my list is The Temporary Wife by Catherine Amora. This book follows Luca Windsor and his assistant Valentina. And basically Luca gets set into an arranged marriage that he doesn't want, and the only way to get out of that arranged marriage is to get into another one with his assistant. Super good, super good, super good. There's a time limit on this engagement. You know the rules, you know how it goes. Top tier book. Pick it up, read it, you won't regret it. Reckless by Elsie Silver. Reckless follows Winter Hamilton and Theo Silva, who drunkenly the first night they meet get together, if you know what I mean. And a baby comes from it, and she tries to text him, but she doesn't get a very nice response back, and the rest of the story is him trying to make it up to her and their baby. So if you're interested in something like that, Secret Baby is always gonna get me. Secret Baby romances are my favorite. This one was my intro into Small Town and Secret Baby romance, and I loved it. So my next book is an all-time favorite for, like, I feel like everybody loves this series, and I'm so glad that I'm not the only one. Okay, my light died, so I had to fix that. But before I was really interrupted, we were talking about Binding 13, which follows Shannon and Johnny, and I feel like their love story is just so perfect and honestly, like, real. Like, Shannon's going through it at home, dad's not a very good man, lays hands on people that he shouldn't be laying hands on, and Johnny is just so sweet and sets out to help her, and they're just my favorite. Boys of Tommen has my heart. Next is not only one of my favorite books, but one of my favorite movie series, Divergent. I love Divergent so bad, specifically the first book and the first movie. So good. Divergent, if you don't know, follows Tris, who lives in a dystopian era Chicago, I think, and basically they're separated into so many different sections, and you get to pick like where you think you belong after a test. But the Divergents are the people who don't fit anywhere, and this is pretty good. This is pretty good. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't done either, pick it up. You will love it. So the next book that I have for you guys is actually the book that fueled my love for a certain sport that everybody knows about, Formula One. Throttled by Lauren Asher. Such a good book, okay? Throttled follows Maya and Noah, and Maya is Noah's rival's and teammate's younger sister, and Maya follows kind of her brother around on the circuits and goes with him to, like, basically every race, drops out of college and all that, to live her life and do content creation, and it starts to blow up. So she starts to kind of realize maybe Noah's not as bad as he seems, because she starts doing a lot of stuff with him, and maybe he's not as mean and ugly as he seems. Maybe he just has a dark exterior. He's not like morally gray per se, he just kind of has like trauma, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? This next book is another book that I read for school that I absolutely loved. I read this one my freshman year of high school in honors English, of all places. To Kill a Mockingbird. I actually hated reading this book when I was assigned to read it, but I ended up picking it up a couple days later after the assignment ended and realized that this is actually such a really good book. There's like not even enough I could say about this book. If you don't know To Kill a Mockingbird, you've been under a rock. Top tier literature. Next book is by one of my favorite authors. I literally have every series that she's ever written, and I have one signed copy of hers already and another one coming later this year. But this is my all-time favorite book that really stuck with me from her. She's got 2 books in this video, so this one is my top favorite. King of Sloth by Anna Wong. She's so good. This book is so good. This one follows Sloane and Xavier, and Xavier basically is a rich boy. Sloane's a PR rep who works with him essentially, and he's a rich boy who doesn't care about anything or anyone. He just wants to party and have a good time until he gets told that he won't get any of his inheritance unless he does something. I don't really, guys, I literally forget every book I've ever read. Like, please forgive me. I promise this is a good book. The first book that I read on Kindle, of all places, when I first got my Kindle, this was the first ever book that I downloaded and read. The Spanish Love Deception. I love this book down bad. Tina has to go to, whose wedding is it? Her sister's wedding. Okay, Kathleen has to go to her sister's wedding in Spain, and she lied and said that she had a date because her ex-boyfriend is gonna be there, and she didn't have a date until her boss and co-worker, I think they're co-workers, but he ends up being her boss, steps in and goes, "I'll go to the wedding with you, girl, don't worry," and then thus fake dating, but they actually love each other. Yeah, that's what this is. So I'm realizing there's a couple of books in here that I read at school. Like this one. This one is, the cover is not on it, but this one is The Way I Used to Be by Smith. I don't know. It'll tell me what her government is. I want to say it's Amber. Sorry, Amber. By Amber Smith. This one is also not a romance book. If anything, this is so tragic and heartbreaking. This book is set into 4 parts, and it follows Eden, who has, trigger warning, been sexually assaulted by her brother's best friend, and it shows kind of how she copes up until the very end when she finally tells the truth. And I just think it's such a real book. It changed my life, and it really shows you that you really don't know what somebody's going through privately. And so my next book, on a happier note, is by Chloe Walsh. And this one features my 2 favorite Chloe Walsh characters. We're talking Saving Six. This is the 3rd book in the Boys of Tommen series. And this one is the first book of Joey and Aoife's story. And I think it's just so amazing because Joey is so broken. He's so broken, but I could fix him. And Aoife fixes him, and I think it's great. They're besties. Well, she wants to be besties. He doesn't want to be besties, and they end up besties, and then they end up falling in love, and it's perfect. This next book is also Ana Huang. It's my 2nd favorite book that she's ever written, that I've ever read. And this one is actually my autographed hardback version. Twisted Hate. And if you guys don't believe me, she's in there. Right there. Twisted Hate follows Josh and Jules. Josh is Ava's older brother from Twisted Love, and Jules is Ava's best friend. And they hate each other, enemies to lovers, except they don't hate each other at all. So this is such a good book. Love it down bad. We're gonna get us all my favorites, my like all-time favorites. Okay, they're all my all-time favorites, but these are like really, really good ones. Basically, anything written by Rena Kent, read your trigger warnings. Okay, read them, make sure you're good, because these books tackle some really, really heavy themes, and I would never want to recommend a book to somebody who couldn't handle it or didn't know what was to be entailed. So please check your trigger warnings, check her website, know what you're getting into. Just is God of Wrath by Rena Kent. Ah! Cecily and Jeremy are just so wow. Cecily ends up somewhere she's not supposed to be, and that kind of catalysts everything that sets them up to be perfect together. Nico and Bran. This is such a good story. Basically, Bran ends up somewhere that he's not supposed to be, and Nico is like literally just enthralled by him. But Nico's kind of crazy, so it's kind of like, is he enthralled by him? Is he not enthralled by him? The world may never know kind of situation. But then they end up falling in love, but Brandon's like, he's got like a lot of mental issues. Next and last book in my Rena Kent verse is God of War. God of War follows Ava, Nash, and Eli. Kind of like, they were in love as teens, and then he broke her heart, but then she suffers an accident and wakes up and is told that they're married. Let's talk about that, because she suffers also from amnesia after this accident. Praying for you, Ava. Praying for you. There's 3 more books in this video, and this one is also my all-time favorite movie, A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. This book is so sweet, and the movie is even sweeter. If you don't know about A Walk to Remember, it follows Landon and Jamie, who form an unlikely friendship, and then they end up falling in love. But Jamie's has a secret, a really sad secret. If you don't know what it is, I don't want to spoil it. She has a really sad secret, and it really just shows how love perseveres through everything, and you too will love Jamie and Landon. To keep going with my classics, my next book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Guys, Mr. Darcy is the blueprint. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care what your take on Mr. Darcy is. Mr. Darcy is everything. That's it. If you don't know Pride and Prejudice, you've been living under a rock. I'm not even gonna go into detail. Like, I can't. the last and final book. The last book is a genre that I was recently introduced to this past year under the genre of romantasy. I don't know how much romantasy it actually is. I think it's kind of just considered fantasy, but Fourth Wing. So Fourth Wing, if you don't know, to anybody who's been interested in Fourth Wing, wants to know more about Fourth Wing, here's a quick rundown. So Fourth Wing takes place following Violet Sorrengail, whose mother basically is like an army general, if you want to think about it that way, of the Riders Quadrant, which the Riders Quadrant are all people who like fight the wars and everything on dragons, who you're linked to and can speak to. Down for that? Well, Violet comes across Xaden Ryarson. Okay, is that how you say it? He's like all-time big dude, wing leader, ruthless. He's great. Her dragon and his dragon are mated, which means they spend a lot of time together, or something of the sort. I'm trying to read the book to make sure I'm not spilling any lies, but this book really just follows kind of like things that it's got like lies, enemies, friends, lovers, anything that you're into. I guarantee is in this book, plus dragons, and you too will love it. And I need to finish the series, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, that is it for my top 20 books of my 20th year. I feel like I don't really know what I'm talking about sometimes because I literally, like, my brain wipes everything after I finish a book. So if I feel like I did know what I was talking about, I promise you I did. I just literally forget everything, and I read so many books that I can't remember them all. I literally almost got God of War and God of Pain mixed up by Rina Kent. So like I said, if you are interested in any of these books, check them out. I highly recommend them, or I wouldn't have made this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so blessed to be here. I hope you're so blessed to be here. Love you much. Remember that I love you. Thank you so much for watching.